Hi everyone, we're going to present you the new fragrance collection, the Fabrics. It's an eau de parfum collection of 5 different fragrances. The inspiration behind is really inspired in all the fabrics that we've been using at Massimo Dutti through the years. So we have represented an iconic fabric for each fragrance, associating it with an iconic ingredient from the perfume sector to create very unique and very distinct fragrances. So the first fragrance of our collection is Warm Cashmere. We have noted the fragrance note behind the label in order for you to help the client. And Warm Cashmere for us is an interpretation of a cashmere sweater. Very warm, very wintry, and a little masculine. Inside, we can find some cashmere wood that for us interprets the darkness and the more masculine effect. We can also find patchouli and cardamom. For us, the patchouli gives this little cozy and intense touch. The last note, the cardamom brings the spiciness, and the spiciness really gives a whole warm and wintry aspect to this fragrance. The second fabric that we wanted to interpret is Morning Poplin. As the noun explains it by itself, we really wanted to interpret a fresh poplin, either in a shirt, either in a long dress. And inside of Morning Poplin, which is a fresh unisex fragrance, we have used mandarin oil in order to bring a bit this cleanness effect. We have also used transparent amber. It's a synthetic molecule that really helps bringing the freshness and the watery aspect of an ironed shirt. And on the last main ingredients of this fragrance, we have used a touch of jasmine to bring back the whiteness and the little fresh effect of white flowers inside of this fragrance. The third fabric and interpretation of this fragrance collection is Rainy Days. Rainy Days for us is an interpretation of a wet May stroll in the city. Wet as in it's been raining and you can feel the wetness on your trench coat and you can feel the rain on your clothes. So for this, really the interpretation behind is something, a fragrance very green, very leafy. This is why inside we can find oak moss. Oak moss is this a bit sensual green aspect. We can also find galbanum. Galbanum is the representation, for example, of a green cutted grass. And as a last ingredient, we have used muguet. Muguet, it's a little mayflower, very fresh, very delicate, and also a bit feminine, that brings this little peps note, something very sparkly, to this old fragrance. We consider Rainy Days a unisex fragrance that can be used at any moment of the year and really recalls this greenness and freshness that is very comfortable. Our fourth chapter in the fabric collection is Solar Linen. Solar Linen, as the name can explain, is an ode to the linen fabric. Linen, as you know, is one of Massimo Dutti's most iconic fabric that we use in a lot of our clothes. And here we wanted to interpret it into a very radiant, solar, yet summery fragrance. Solar Linen includes notes of musk. There are notes that are very feminine, very delicate, very clean. Alongside with sandalwood that brings all the creaminess of the fragrance. We have also added some orange blossom notes that are very iconic for summer fragrances. This whole interpretation behind Solar Linen is a flowing dress into a wild field. You can really sense this when you smell the fragrance. The fresh notes of the linen really brings femininity and solarity to this fragrance. Our last chapter and our last fabric is Tinted Twill. It's the perfect interpretation of indigo and denim, linked along with iris, which is a very iconic ingredient in the fragrance world. Tinted Twill, as you will sense it, has this little touch of denim indigo ink that is really well balanced with the creaminess of the incense and the cedarwood. It gives a fragrance that globally is unisex, a bit more masculine on the behalf, but the whole incense brings a very smoky, dark, yet sensual touch. For me, it's one of the most beautiful signature that we have, and it closes the chapters of our 5 fabrics that are very iconic for the brand.